I want you guys to ask yourself this key question anytime you go into comparisonitis. And you know you're there because it lowers your vibe, right? Like, I could see like Scott posting something, or maybe it's, another female, top business coach, and she posts something. And if I'm like, oh my God, awesome, they're doing awesome things, or that's so cool that they were able to like take that great trip with their significant other, that's not comparisonitis. Okay. That's good vibes, right? Comparisonitis is when it's like, oh my God, his course is selling so much more than mine. Oh, wow. She's like on all these different shows and speaking for all these different people. And I don't think anyone will ever buy from me because she's skinnier than me, or, whatever bullshit we tell ourselves, right?
Welcome to the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Scott Aaron, and each and every week I'm going to come to you with short, simple, and powerful tactics of how you can grow your network marketing business, brand, bank account, and impact on those around you. And just remember, network marketing is not easy, but it can be made easy with simple steps to create the success that you truly deserve.
Welcome to episode 112 of the Network Marketing Made Simple podcast. And if you're a new listener, then welcome. And if you are a returning listener, then welcome back. And as always, if you are listening to this and you are still solely building your business through the means of Facebook and Instagram, and you are not yet leveraging and capitalizing off of the amazing platform of LinkedIn and how it can grow your business, your bank account, and your impact, then head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can fill out a form to schedule a call with me where I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can potentially work together. So super, super stoked about today's episode. As I always am, when you're kind of in the flow of things, you start attracting some of the most incredible human beings. And my guest today is one of those incredible human beings. So I always like to come to you guys also with variations of the type of people I have on here, people that are in network marketing, out of network marketing, people that are coaches, because you guys need to learn all of the nuances, all of the things that you can do to truly succeed. So Tiffany Carter, who is joining me today, not only is a top business coach, she is a self-made, and I'm going to repeat that, self-made multi-millionaire, and a popular podcaster, amongst other things that we're going to get into today. And before I take up any more time, I do not like telling people their own story. I want them to tell it themselves. So Tiffany Carter, welcome to today's episode.
So happy I'm on here and be able to like tell all the people and share with all the people all the things. Because one of the things about me is I saw a hole in the coaching market, in the personal development space, where there were so few people actually telling you, how did you get from where you were to where you're at now? They kind of skim over it, which is what I love about you, is you actually tell people exactly how, and I do the same thing. So my story, if you want to hear it like in more detail, you can hear it on my podcast, Project Me with Tiffany Carter. It's on all the things, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, all of that. So I'll give you like the condensed version of my story. And it's one that kind of like reads like a Lifetime movie, like one of those train wreck Lifetime movies where you're like, why am I watching this, but I can't stop and the acting is so bad? It's one of those. So I grew up in an abusive household. On the outside, we looked really damn good. We were the second wealthiest family in an already wealthy neighborhood. So I had the dance lessons. I had the nice, the designer clothes. I had an Olympic-sized pool in my backyard. We had 2 full-size gourmet kitchens, just to give you guys an idea of what I mean by the wealth. So on the outside, people admired, I grew up in a single mom household. So they admired my mom, who was an entrepreneur, by the way, and they wanted to be me. But what they didn't know is behind closed doors is I was being sexually abused from the ages of 11 to 21 years old. And that's a really shocking age range when I share it with people. but that's what was going on behind closed doors. It was not a pretty environment. I would have rather lived in a tent than lived in, that house that seemed so glamorous. I share this part of my story for many reasons, but one of the big ones is when you guys are scrolling online or when you're going to networking events and you start that comparisonitis, you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors in someone's house, in their mind. You don't know what the reality is. It's all stuff you're making up. You have no idea, because if there was Instagram back then, you would have wanted to be me, right? On the outside. Thank God there wasn't social media then, because I might have gotten arrested. But anyway, I digress. So I wanted to be a new TV news broadcaster. What did I think of TV news broadcasters? People heard them. They listened to them. They admired them. They spoke the truth, right? The opposite of what was occurring in my household. So I did. I was hired by NBC in Washington at 20, even before I graduated college, which is not normal. And then I went on to CBS to host a 4-hour morning show. And that was great and all, but I was broke. So I was being paid $17,000 a year. I knew that there wasn't money in news. I mean, I knew in order to get it, similar to acting, you'd have to be like a Katie Couric or something like that in order to make big money. But I didn't realize how long and how unlikely that would be. And I realized, you know what? In order to help the most people and make the most impact, I knew I needed to make more cash. I didn't know how, because my whole life was structured around being a news broadcaster. But I knew I needed to make more cash. And so I did. I saw all sorts of people that had company cars, wearing suits and getting laptops and working from home. I had friends who were doing it, and I was like, this job sounds great. And that was being a pharmaceutical rep. And I know, you shared that you have pharmacists in your family. So I was laughing because I used to have to call on pharmacists too. But I got into corporate America in a highly lucrative environment. And that's where I learned a lot about sales. I got in with a company that invested a lot of time and money in teaching us the art of sales, the art of relationship building in a really good way, not in a pushy way, in an educational way, in a beautiful way. I've had semi-private lessons with Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. I mean, big money they put into this. So I'm grateful for that. But at a certain point, I could not get any higher, so to speak, climbing that ladder in corporate America. I couldn't make any more. It wasn't going to happen. I was burning out. I was over it. And I knew that if I wanted to make more money, I needed to start a business, but I was terrified. And so I started by side hustling. And it's a method I teach today. It's my straddling method. It's a conservative method into quitting your primary job. I made sure that I was replacing my income before I quit, and when to do that, although my 2-week notice was written long in advance and I had it taped on my wall because I was so excited to do it. And I pretty quickly replaced that income. I mean, I'm talking within 6 months of side hustling, I replaced that primary income. And in pharmaceuticals, you guys, you're paid a lot of money. I mean, with bonuses and such, it was for sure north of $150,000. That's a fair amount of money with a free car insurance, amazing health insurance, all the things. So I was like, okay, I can do this. You can actually make your own money yourself and make great money and not have to kill yourself. This is unbelievable. So I started a business that made sense and was aligned with my own current network. It's not like I left this lucrative job and went, I'm going to go, make jewelry on the beach of Bali and replace my income. I looked at, okay, what are people already wanting and seeking from me as it is? And that was marketing. How can we bring more patients into the practice? What other ways can we make money in my medical practice besides seeing patients? Because you can only see so many patients a day. Doctors trade their time for money too, by the way. So it's and doctors don't make as much as most people think. So they were wanting to know how to do that. And so for free, right, to build rapport, I was doing marketing plans for all these people. mean, the pharmaceutical company's paying me, but I was doing it as a form of rapport building with all these clients, right? I just had to then now ask them to pay me for it, which was scary as hell. But I asked, I earned the right. I earned the right because I'd already been of service and been giving and built trust and reliability. And so it wasn't like I just like walked into a doctor's office or a hospital cold. So I earned that right. And when I asked, they said yes. And I went, oh my God, this is crazy. And then they kept saying yes, and they kept saying yes. And I didn't go so far out of my own wheelhouse. So that's also why I replaced my income so quickly, because I wasn't like, all of a sudden, making a 180-degree, different pivot, right? And that's what I've been doing for the last 11 years. That's my 7-figure business, is doing digital marketing and traditional marketing for pharmaceutical, medical, and supplement companies. And then a year and a half ago, you guys, I decided to finally put out there, my dream business on giving back, which is Project Me with Tiffany Carter. And it's to teach other women how to be able to make money doing something they love and to have that freedom for themselves, freedom from not having to depend on a dude, not having to depend on a family member, on a job, on an institution for money, because there's nothing more empowering to me to know I can walk away from any situation today that I want to, that doesn't feel right, that feels like icky, or that kind of feels almost like unhealthy or toxic. I can walk away from it right now and I'd be fully financially supported. So everywhere I show up, whether it's on your show today or it's with my fiance, Mike, anywhere I show up, it's because I truly want to be there. I do not have to be. And I want that for all you guys. So that's a short version of my story.
Well, pretty epic, very epic. And, obviously you've had to overcome a lot of things, and obviously, my story. And I just want to, say thank you for being so vulnerable and so open, because I know just sharing that aspect of your story really helps people move forward, because they think they're all alone, but they're not. So first, thank you for all of that.
Thank you for acknowledging that. And you guys, I want to say, like, anyone who heard that maybe got a little triggered or it brought up some memories, you certainly aren't alone. And I know I've done a lot of work to be able to speak about this on stages and on podcasts and to traditional media, in order to help other people, men and women, know that they're not alone. So you can always DM me on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany. It's private. No one else has access to my DMs. If it's something that, you want to reach out to me about, I just want to offer that.
I love that. And, a lot of your story, the things that you learned in being a pharmaceutical sales rep, and the rapport building, the relationship building, the trust, it seems like it's a great route for network marketers to go, but yet they don't. They sell to their friends and family. They're going in for the close instead of nurturing the relationship. And I know you have a lot of network marketing listeners on your podcast, and you've obviously coached a lot of people with a network marketing background. In your professional opinion, how important is it for sometimes the network marketer to slow down in order to speed up, to really build those trustworthy relationships with the people that they end up wanting to partner with?
Oh, it's everything. So I'm not a network marketer, but I'm a big supporter of having that as an income arm in your business. So I do have a network marketing arm in my portfolio for additional residual income, because why not make more money while I'm sleeping? Thank you. So here's the thing. When I started Project Me with Tiffany, I started with 0 followers. I'm an introvert. I am someone who has quality friends over quantity. I have 1 living family member. Okay. And what I decided to do was a similar model that I did in my straddling method from leaving corporate America to being an entrepreneur. Is I took 6 months. I gave myself that grace and time just to build and nurture my audience and get to know people online and not sell one damn thing. I sold nothing for 6 months. So then by the time I did have something to offer, people were like chomping for it, because it's like, oh my God, finally, I'm so excited. I'm excited to support you. So what's 6 months, you guys? Wouldn't you rather take 6 months of nurturing relationships, of spending time with people, on giving back to people? Because then that next 6 months, you're making quadruple of what you would have made if you were rushing to the sell. Does that make sense?
It does. And I love this straddling method because there are so many people that they take the hunter route instead of being the farming route. And I always stress to people, it's so important to be that farmer that plants the most seeds so you can reap the greatest harvest. So talk about the straddling method. Not you don't have to go into great detail, but just the concept of it and how a network marketer could step back from what they're doing now. Because again, you and I see what's going on social media. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's a lot of pretty pictures. It's not the how-tos. It's the here's what I'm doing, and you gotta pay for this to find out. And it's not giving people any tangible tips and takeaways. So what is it about the straddling method that really sets it apart from other things out there, that it can be worked into any business model, which is a network marketing business or just a brick and mortar or a coaching practice like you and I?
Here's how I came up with it, you guys, because I am financially conservative by nature. Like, I could have 3 Ferraris. Do I have a luxury car? You're damn right I do. But I don't have 3 Ferraris. I don't have a Bentley. So I'm financially conservative. It's all relative, right? When I was making $17,000 a year, I had other people who were making around the same, and they were going into debt buying, like, if you guys remember, like True Religion jeans. They were like
Oh yeah.
$300 or something like that. I didn't. I had jeans from, I don't know, like no name jeans. I didn't care. And so that's what I mean by being financially conservative. So I am not someone who's going to just up and quit my job with no parachute. Not only do I not want just a parachute, I want like a floating bed, like a feather topped bed. Like, that feels good to me, because what I see happen, and I see this a lot with network marketers too, is they get so excited and they see the opportunity, and who doesn't want to work for themselves and build all this and leave their crappy job? And they get really excited, but yet if you just up and quit, I've seen people do it. Your scarcity mindset, your money mindset, it quickly changes to a poverty mindset, and you end up with this desperate hunty energy, because you're like, oh shit, I need to like enroll this many people in order for me to pay my rent. Oh my God, I just got 5 no's. What am I going to do? If I don't get 4 more people this month, I'm not going to be able to pay my cable bill. And people can smell that energy, and then it doesn't work. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of, I'm not getting anyone to enroll. It's not working anymore. And now you're screwed. Now you have to get another job, which we don't want. So what I say is, stay right now with what you are currently doing and have a different take on what you're currently doing. What you're currently doing could be even having your own company. It could be at a corporate job. It could be that you're doing nothing because you're living at your parents' house and that was a poor choice of yours. But stay doing what you're currently doing while building out your other thing, because then you at least have a different mindset. If it doesn't work, right, which it will if you follow everything, especially Scott teaches you, but if it doesn't work, in your mindset, you have something to fall back on. What I tell people to look at their crappy job at, look at it as that's the investor in your own business. That's your investor, whether it's network marketing or something else. That's your investor. It's your business. It's the paycheck and however much you can save for it. So you have something giving you whatever it is, $2,000 every 2 weeks, $1,800 a month, whatever it is you're being paid. Well, take that money and just flip your mindset, because I know it's hard to go into work when you hate it. Well, have a different look at it and be grateful for investing, and all your other time, right, is spent on building and nurturing these relationships. In fact, you're actually getting paid to do it. If you look at it this way, you're being paid to do it by whatever your current job is. You have an investor. That's your cushion. And then you start making money, and then you wait until it gets to a point of you're consistently making and matching, your salary, where it's close enough where you see that there's a future. You didn't just have like one hot month. That's what I mean by the straddling method. It's not just actual actionable steps. It's how you're looking at your current situation.
I could honestly stop the episode there. I think that description, the investor description, was absolutely brilliant. I've never thought of it that way before because I never had an investor. I already always owned my own business. But when I think about it, my personal training business, I was using as an investment to then pump into my network marketing business. So it makes complete sense. And I hope you guys really digest that, because stop thinking about your business as what's holding you back, that job that you have, that 9 to 5. Think about it it's a temporary inconvenience that's actually funding you the ability to work on your side hustle where you can then one day replace it. So Tiffany, that was just brilliant. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome. And you guys, so starting Project Me with Tiffany, who do you think my investor was? My first company that I still have today, 11 years, which is TLC Enterprises. That marketing company that focuses, right, I told you, on medical practices, medical companies, pharmaceutical and supplements, doing digital marketing for them. That company is my investor for me to start Project Me with Tiffany. So it doesn't have to be like you said, you had your own business too. It could be that you are a personal trainer, or maybe you're even with a different network marketing company and you're like, it's not working for you, or whatever it is. It's the mindset on looking at it differently, because I was getting burnt out in my other company. As much as I'm grateful for it, it wasn't fulfilling me and my soul. So that's where I had to do mindset work and take a look at it much differently. Oh my God, how blessed am I to be able to have an investor, and it's my own company, right? And I was able to start Project Me with, so to speak, a bang, because I have all this money in order to put into it, of hiring a podcast producer, of being able to, hire an amazing coach for myself and attend all these great things. That's because I have the leverage of my other business.
I want to go back to something that you said very early on, and it was the word comparison. And I think you and I both know that comparison truly is the thief of our joy. And you see so many in network marketing, you see it a lot. You see network marketers looking at all these high income earners, people gracing the stage, and then they limit their self-worth and how valuable they really are. I can't do that. And they start comparing themselves. So what can someone do when they feel that comparison bug starting to bite them again? What's an anchor, or what is something that you coach your clients on that my listeners can do to not suppress comparison, but turn it into something else?
I just spoke about this on stage at the Fitposium conference. So when you guys are in the scroll hole, as I call it, we all know when we're there. When we also even know sometimes, like, I need to get off Instagram, or I need to get off Facebook, but then we don't. It's almost like we're looking for a shame hit. But, we all can fall into that. I've fallen into it as well. I want you guys to ask yourself this key question anytime you go into comparisonitis. And you're there because it lowers your vibe, right? Like, I could see like Scott posting something, or maybe it's, another female, top business coach, and she posts something. And if I'm like, oh my God, awesome, they're doing awesome things, or that's so cool that they were able to like take that great trip with their significant other, that's not comparisonitis. Okay. That's good vibes, right? Comparisonitis is when it's like, oh my God, his course is selling so much more than mine. Oh, wow. She's like on all these different shows and speaking for all these different people. And I don't think anyone will ever buy from me because she's skinnier than me, or, whatever bullshit we tell ourselves, right? I want you to ask yourself this question. Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for now and forever? Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for now and forever? So anything that comes up, I'll use myself as an example, because I almost didn't start Project Me with Tiffany Carter because I thought I was too fat, because all of the female empowerment speakers out there had like long blonde extensions with flowery dresses and were very, very skinny. So someone who, I'm in recovery for an exercise addiction. So someone who already has that in their brain, my brain started going, well, God, I need to be skinny because she's skinny and I'm not as skinny as her. is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for now and forever? Is it true that you have to be skinny in order to be a successful empowerment speaker and help millions of women? No. Is that absolutely true that you'll never be as successful as Sally Joe, who's walking the stage for the fourth time, in her network marketing business, and you'll just never get where she's at because she just seems so much more confident than you, and she has it more together? Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for now and forever? No. Our brains work well with facts. They do not work well when we create affirmations that sound like lies. So I love affirmations, but they need to be ones that our mind actually believes. It can't be like, you're in debt and you're not, enrolling anyone in your network marketing company. Like something's just, it's not working. You feel stuck. And then it's like, I am a millionaire. Millions of dollars are in my bank. Like your mind is like, bullshit. Like that's not going to work. You have to say something that actually works. Like, I am working diligently every single day on attracting more abundance into my life. That's true. If you really are working at it, that's true. And if you're listening to the show, obviously you care about doing that or you wouldn't be listening to the show. So that key question, I still use it to this day. Like no one is excluded from this. Like sometimes when I go speak on stages, like even at Fitposium, right? Like there were some people there were more people in the audience for their talk than mine. My ego didn't like that. Of course I wanted I wanted to have the fullest room. My ego did, right? And I started making up some stories and I use exactly what I coach. Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for now and forever that everyone just wants to hear this person and no one wants to listen to me and I'm an idiot and, people are bored by me? No, I made it up. And it stops your brain right there because your brain's like, oh, fact. Okay. So like hashtag facts, people.
I love that. And it's all about reframing and realizing that your stories in your head will actually either hurt you or help you. And I remember seeing Mel Robbins speak about something like this. And she basically said there's so much negativity going on in our heads each day that if we had an external microphone that attached to our head and blasted out all of the negativity that actually we were saying to ourselves, people will be running for the hills. And it's so true because what you think about is what you become. And if you keep telling yourself that you suck, you're not good enough, I'm never going to be successful, they're better than me, they're prettier, they're more, all these things, you are refacilitating non-truthful facts. You are really refacilitating a story that you're creating that is halting your success because you're choosing to self-sabotage. So Tiffany, my question is this. If someone's listening to this, and again, I have people at all stages and all levels of network marketing across many countries, and some people are just starting out, some people are in the weeds, some people have achieved that success, but they're looking for more. What are one or two things that people could take away from this episode, mindset-wise? Because we know that, where our mind goes, money will flow. So what are, and I love the I am statements. I love gratitude. I love I am statements. I love anchors. I love all those things. What are two simplistic things that the listeners can do after this episode to start reframing their thoughts so they can start achieving the success they deserve?
Well, two things I really want to make sure that you guys get out of this. And first off, if you're loving this episode, take a screenshot right now and share it on social media. Tag your boy Scott, tag me at Project Me with Tiffany. I would love to get to know you guys, better and just see who listened to the show. And any follow-up questions that you have for me, you can DM me. I spend 2 hours every single day in my DMs. That's my way of giving back and my way of nurturing my people and building rapport and building my audience. Okay. And I have millions in the bank and I still do it. And I do it out of a space of love. So that's my first thing. You need to be taking actions that are out of a space of true, genuine giving. Is it for fun and for free? And what I mean by that is, not doing anything with an expectation. And it can be hard. You have to check yourself because then you shouldn't be doing it. If I was just in my DMs because I expected by me sitting in my DMs 2 hours a day, I'm going to end up getting this many sales, guess what? I'd end up getting no sales because there would be a weird energy. I wouldn't be as open and free flowing. You guys, liking and commenting and like meeting different people, whether it's online or offline, if you're doing it with an agenda, like a true agenda of like, I need to enroll them, you will repel them, you will not enroll them. Even if you think you're faking it really well, you're not. You can't fake energy. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to check what kind of things you're telling yourselves of what are they true? It's the question I already just stated earlier. Most of the stuff we tell ourselves are lies or things that we don't know to be fact. I'll give an example in network marketing that I thought, okay, and this wasn't all that long ago. I thought that in order to be successful in network marketing, you had to like really be like an extrovert, super people person, high energy, nonstop, go, go, go. And I was like, that's what you have to do to be successful. Well, fortunately, one of my best friends is an incredibly successful network marketer. And she said, well, where did you get that from? And I said, I don't know. I go, I know it's a lie I'm probably telling myself. And she goes, well, look at me. And she barely leaves the house, by the way. So I was like, oh my God. And I even have a best friend. I mean, I'm talking millionaire level, okay? Like a year, like in the bank. Makes that much money, but yet I was still telling myself that BS. So you need to check your own stories. Don't always assume those things you're telling yourself are fact. Just, you can even ask yourself, is it fact? Because we end up making up all this stuff and then we end up self-sabotaging, because if I'm constantly telling myself, well, you need to be an extrovert to be successful at this. You need to be skinny to be successful at this. If I keep telling myself these things, well, then I'm going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy that it's true.
I love that. And it's one of those things where, life is about choices. Life is about what we want to make of it and what we want to make from it. And I really believe that no matter what business you have and no matter where you are in your network marketing journey, everyone is given the same compensation plan. You're given the same products and you have the choice of whether you want to grow this or not. So I have a couple final questions before we wrap up. Number one, why do you personally feel, all the people you've been coaching, you have network marketing friends, why do you feel network marketers fail?
I feel not only network marketers, but anyone, if you're broke or you're in debt or you're not making what you want to make, it is mindset. People want to think it's strategy. And yes, strategy is important, but you cannot out-strategize a shitty mindset. Period. End of story. I had $1 million in the bank by the time I was 30 years old. Within 3 months, I lost almost all of it. It was all due to my mindset and my self-worth. That's why I say low self-worth equals low net worth, because you end up doing these things that sabotage yourself, but you don't even know they are. Like I was writing checks to this person, that person, and then I ended up putting my trust into someone that wasn't a good person. I didn't trust my gut because I had no self-worth, and that's what lost the rest of the money for me. That's what I mean by that. So if you're not successful, it's because there is some kind of a block in there that you've learned from childhood or an abusive relationship or some toxic person in your life or from society, and you are just living and grinding in that story. Therefore, everything in your life is going to play out to support the story you're telling yourself. You need to create a different story for yourself. And to start that is by actually questioning every single thing you believe. Because I bet you 90% of what you believe are lies.
I love that. So before I get to my final question, how can people get in touch with you on social? Is there a direct way where they can reach out to you? Because I want them to learn how they can work with you.
Yeah, the best way to reach out to me directly is on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany. Like I said, I spend 2 hours every single day in my DMs. So you can DM me, tell me, you listen to the show, ask me any follow-up questions. Right now, actually, I have opened up a couple spots for private business coaching with me, which is rare. This is actually the first time I've done it. So I opened 2 additional spots for 2019. you can easily DM me and I can send you the application, or you can go on projectmewithtiffany.com and get it there. And listen to the show, you guys. Like, obviously you listen to Scott's show. You want to get more in touch with like money stuff and mindset stuff. It's Project Me with Tiffany Carter. It's on everything. We're a featured podcast on iHeartRadio as well. And give it a listen. I love when the listeners also DM me with follow-up questions, because it's like, I'm sure other questions come up, even though I try to cover everything, but take action. Don't just listen to a podcast, take action, message Scott with questions, like take action on things that you listen to. You're getting direct access, in my case, to a self-made multimillionaire. Like, how many self-made multimillionaires do you have access to? How many top network marketing professionals do you have access to? My guess is not many. So take advantage of it.
You have to ASK to GET, and we talked about that before. So if you ask, you're going to get. So I highly encourage you guys to reach out to Tiffany. I'm going to put all those links in the show notes for you guys. But I mean, at Project Tiffany, you guys can really connect with her. And I advise you to take the screenshot, like she said, reach out to her, DM her. That's someone that gives. And these are the types of people that you want to surround yourself with. So final question before we end today's episode, Tiffany, what does success mean to you?
Well, success used to mean to me having millions in the bank. And then it's that old adage of money doesn't make you happy, which, by the way, is true. So success to me means freedom. I am free I could close up shop and quit everything I want to today. I am free to move wherever I want. I am free to work out and do workout and then do a podcast in my workout clothes and sit in that all day. I can work from my robe. I can go wherever I want. That's true success. And also the ability to be able to give back without some energy agenda of needing to receive anything back. I have so much abundance into my life in excess that I can give it back without worrying about getting anything from anyone in return, whether it's charities, whether it's talking to people in my DMs or after I speak somewhere. And that's true success to me, is freedom. There's no better feeling in the world to me than being free.
I love that. Freedom is everything. And guys, as always, you can connect with me on Instagram at Scott Aaron, LinkedIn. You can DM me, and I would love to hear your feedback from this. Tiffany, thank you again so much for taking the time out to bless my audience with your amazing knowledge and love. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, it was an honor. This was so great. Thanks so much.
So guys, again, thank you so much for joining today and listening to the episode. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you again so much for checking out this week's episode. And if you can, head over to iTunes, search for Network Marketing Made Simple, leave me a 5-star rating, basic review. I would be grateful for all of the support you guys can give me. And again, if you'd be interested in learning more how to utilize LinkedIn to grow your business, your brand, and your bank account, head over to my website, www.scottaaron.net. Fill out the form for your free 15-minute discovery call so I can learn more about you, your business, and how we can work together. And again, thank you guys so much. Grateful for you all, and I'll see you next time.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.